You know that feeling when your entire world has just shattered, and the one person who should be holding you together is actively tearing you apart? Last week, I looked at my husband, the man I swore to spend my life with, and felt a cold, hard betrayal bloom in my chest. Pause for effect. Main story asterisk. It all started so subtly, like a slow poison. My mom, my anchor, my only real family, had just passed away from cancer. It's been 3 months, but some days it feels like 3 years, and others, like it just happened yesterday. I was knee-deep in her apartment, trying to pack up the last of her life, and my husband, Caden, strolls in. He surveys the boxes and mess, and with a little laugh that wasn't really a laugh, he just says, "Wow, you still have boxes?" Like her entire existence was an inconvenience. He started moving her old books, like they were trash in his way. That was the first crack. It was then I started seeing it everywhere. He'd always been a bit detached, but this was different. I was drowning. In grief, in paperwork, in leftover bills, trying to keep our 4-year-old daughter afloat and maintain my own sanity. My dad's basically an extra in his new wife's family's life, and Caden's family? A whole other mess I won't even get into.
So it was just me.
And Caden, acting like I was a burden. I kept wondering if I was just too sensitive, too broken. But then he'd open his mouth. Like yesterday, I was putting away groceries, probably quiet, lost in my own head. He walks in, grabs a drink, and lets out this deep, theatrical sigh. "Man," he says, "I miss when you were fun." Not a joke. A pronouncement. What do you even say to that? Sorry, I'm not the life of the party, while I'm navigating the worst pain of my life? He started going out more, too. No hiding it. "Gotta clear my head," he'd say, or "gonna see the guys." Then I'd see his stupid posts on social media from some bar, while I was at home, folding laundry, eating cereal for dinner with our daughter. One night, he said he was helping his gym friend, Silvio. Asked if he'd be home for bedtime. He just shrugged. Then came last night. That's when everything hit the fan. Our daughter, sweet as she is, had a meltdown before bed. She's been extra clingy lately, which, honestly, I get. So much change. But Caden? He just gets impatient. He told her to stop crying, which, of course, made it worse. I took her to her room, did the whole story and song routine until she finally settled. When I came back out, Caden was on the couch, blasting TikTok, not even pretending to help. I asked if he could load the dishwasher. He rolled his eyes. "Being bossy again," he muttered. Something in me just snapped. "I can't do everything by myself, Caden." I remember yelling. He looked up, his eyes cold. "You're not the only one who lost someone," he said, "but at least I'm not making everyone miserable about it." My jaw actually dropped. He barely knew my mom. He acts like I'm making the house sad on purpose. I stumbled into the bathroom, locked the door, just needing 5 minutes to ugly cry without my daughter seeing. Before I could even catch my breath, he was banging on the door. Not a gentle knock, a full palm slam. He accused me of being selfish, of always hiding, of not letting go of someone who is gone and not coming back. I told him to leave me alone, but he just kept going. My daughter started crying again, scared by the noise. I was done. Utterly, completely done. I opened the door. "If you're so annoyed by me," I said, my voice shaking, "then please, just go hang out with your friends."
He scoffed.
"Maybe I will, since I never get a break." I stared at him. And what do you think I get? He didn't even look at me. Just grabbed his jacket and slammed the front door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I taped it back up because dealing with broken glass was the last thing I needed. He left me there, with our sniffling daughter. We crashed on the couch, watching Bluey, until she finally calmed down. I texted him. Nothing.
Called.
Straight to voicemail. I tried not to spiral, but rage and exhaustion were a potent cocktail. I ended up falling asleep right there with my daughter next to me. He didn't come home until after 2 a.m. I know, because I woke up when I heard the door. He wasn't even trying to be quiet, stomping, rummaging in the kitchen. Then he came down the hall and banged on our bedroom door. I opened it just a crack. He looked at me like I was the problem. You need to stop making a scene in front of our daughter, he slurred. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. I'm tired too, I said. He started to say something else, but I just shut the door in his face. I could hear him muttering, but eventually, he gave up and went to the guest room. Midway subscribe line asterisk. Asterisk, by the way, if you're still with me, still holding your breath with me through this madness, please hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. Trust me, it only gets wilder. Asterisk. Continue story. This morning, my daughter woke me up, climbing into bed, asking where Daddy was. Then she asked, "Is he mad?" My heart broke. What do you say to a 4-year-old? I got her ready, packed her lunch, and went to make coffee. That's when I saw it. A sticky note on the fridge. An actual paper note, which he never uses. It just said, "Need space. Maybe you should take some, too." No apology. No sorry. Just that. I texted him about picking up our daughter. 2 hours later, he finally replied. Busy. Figure it out. I had no one. My dad's out of town, his family's useless, my friends are all working. So, I figured it out. Again. All day. I replayed his words. Am I selfish? Is it too much to ask for 5 minutes to cry? I felt like I was losing my mind. I kept checking my phone, hoping for an apology. Nothing. Tonight, when he finally came home, I tried to talk to him calmly. We need a plan. I started. Maybe talk to someone. He just brushed past me, still glued to his phone, and went to shower. When he came out, I tried again. Please, I said, no more slamming doors, no more yelling in front of our daughter. He looked at me, a cruel smirk on his face. Maybe if you acted like a real wife instead of a walking funeral, I wouldn't have to. I didn't think. I just reacted. My hand flew up.
Pause.
I slapped him. The sound echoed in the quiet room. He looked at me, then shoved past me, not saying a word, and started packing a bag. I asked where he was going. I'm not doing this anymore, he sneered. You can figure things out by yourself since you like being alone so much. And then he was gone. Again. The front door left wide open. Our neighbor, Bernice, was in the hallway, giving me major side-eye as I went to close it. Now I'm sitting here. My daughter's finally asleep. I'm staring at the empty spot where his shoes used to be. Part of me wants to call him, beg him to come back. The other part? It wants to throw his bag onto the street. I am so tired of being the only one holding it together. Is this what my life is now? Walking on eggshells, apologizing for grieving my own mother? First update. I didn't think I'd be back here this fast, but you guys, I can't even process how last night went. I'm still shaky, replaying everything. I came home from daycare drop-off, and the trash was still sitting by the door. He always complains if I forget it, but he just scrolled past it like it didn't exist. My daughter, she asked about him again this morning. I'm so tired of making excuses. Daddy's busy. Daddy's tired. She's 4, she's not stupid. I spent the day trying to juggle emails, my mom's estate calls, and my extra clingy kid. I texted Caden about picking her up. 2 hours on read. I knew I'd have to figure it out. I left work early. At daycare, Stephanie, the sweet teacher, asked if everything was okay at home. My daughter must have told her daddy slammed the door and made mommy sad. I smiled, said it's been a lot since my mom died. She nodded, understanding, but I knew what she was thinking. Hot mess. She wasn't wrong. Got home. No Caden. Just another sticky note on the table. Taking time for myself. What even is that? I made mac and cheese and cucumber slices for dinner. Halfway through Bluey, he finally walks in. Barely looks at us. Heads straight for the shower. Our daughter runs to him, arms out. He just pats her head. I'm tired, he says. She looks at me like she's done something wrong. My blood pressure shot up. I distracted her with a coloring book. After his shower, he emerges in sweats, grabs his phone, and sits at the table, scrolling. Help with bedtime? I ask. He shrugs. Just put her in pajamas? He groans, huffs, but does it. My daughter asks for story. Not tonight. Mommy will do it.
She starts to cry.
He just walks out, back to his phone, earbuds in, like we're invisible. I tucked her in, then confronted him. You can't just check out like this. She needs you. He finally looked up. I need me too. I'm not going to break myself just to make you feel better. This isn't about me, Caden, I pleaded. This is about being a parent. He just shook his head. You always make it about you. He wasn't hearing me. He couldn't. Or wouldn't. I went to the bedroom to breathe. His phone lit up. A text. From Bernice. Not his cousin's wife, the other one, the one he said he was helping Silvio's wife. Hanging out Friday? Hope you're okay. My stomach clenched. I knew I shouldn't, but I asked him about it. He snatched his phone, called me paranoid, and stormed onto the balcony. I followed him. We ended up screaming at each other, him accusing me of control, me saying he was acting like a stranger. He pushed past me, slammed the balcony door so hard the glass rattled. You can't just run away every time things get hard, I yelled. He turned back. Maybe I should try it sometime. He disappeared into the guest room, talking to someone on his phone. I just sat in my room, staring at the wall, wondering how he got here. The next morning, he was gone before me. No note, no coffee. Our daughter was already up, eating dry cereal she got herself. Is Daddy mad at me? She asked. I almost broke. I called my dad again. Caden needs to process his grief differently, he said. Give him space. I wanted to scream. What about my grief? What about our kid?
He sighed.
Maybe I should come visit, he mumbled, then added. But his wife isn't comfortable with all the drama. Useless. Around noon, a text from Caden. I'll be late, Silvio. Not even to Silvio. Just his name. No explanation. No question about our daughter. I replied, Are you picking her up or not? Read for an hour. Then, your problem today. I can't do everything. I almost threw my phone. I picked her up, made leftover pizza for dinner. She was extra sensitive, asking about Daddy. I wish Grandma was here, she said. I just hugged her, held back tears. He came home after 9 p.m. Smelled like beer. Not wasted, just tired and annoyed. He looked at me. I hope you're happy. You got your way. What does that even mean? I asked. You wanted me gone. I'm gone. But then he sat on the couch, waiting for me to react. I ignored him, went to clean the kitchen. He followed me, leaned against the counter. You're obsessed with death. You need to get over it. You have no idea what this feels like, I countered. I lost people, too, he said, but I don't drag everyone down with me. I couldn't breathe. Are you seriously comparing losing your great-uncle, who you barely talked to my mom? He shrugged. It's all the same in the end. I wanted to scream. Instead, I just said, Get out of my face. I'm done with this fight. Fine, he snapped, pushing a chair so hard it scraped the floor. After he left, I called a friend, not even my closest. She was busy. Texted, hang in there. I scrolled Reddit for hours, reading stories like mine, but different. At least those people had family who cared. I put my daughter to bed, alone. Again. She asked if Daddy was coming to say goodnight. He was in the guest room, door locked. I knocked. She wants you. He yelled back. Tell her I love her. I'm busy. This isn't how parenting works. I yelled. I can't talk to you right now. You'll twist it. I went back to my room, sitting there wondering, is this my life now? Just me, doing everything, while he criticizes or ignores us. I felt like I was losing my mind, but a strange thing was happening. I was starting to care less about his approval. I was just tired. Mad done with being the only one who gave a crap. I thought about calling his mom, but she's even less helpful than my dad. Last time she said, boys will be boys. Dress up, make a nice dinner. I nearly gagged. I'm scared. For my daughter. She's picking up on everything. Asking too many questions. I have no answers. I want to take her and go somewhere, but where? My dad's place is a no. Caden's family? Forget it. My friends have their own lives. His space is just him opting out of being a dad. And I'm supposed to pick up the slack and pretend this is normal. I don't know how much longer I can pretend. I'm not letting him make me feel crazy anymore. But what's next? Second update. I'm back. Because apparently my life can always get more chaotic. And honestly, I'm not sure how much longer I can pretend this is normal. The DMs and comments, even from internet strangers, have been a lifeline. Thank you. It started weird again. Caden's been doing this thing, his phone, always face down. Not just sometimes, always. Even charging. I'm not normally the jealous type, but after everything it just screamed, hiding something. And he acts like I'm the one with issues if I notice. Yesterday morning was a mess. Barely slept. My daughter woke up, asking to go to the park. We'll see, I said, knowing she'd immediately ask if Daddy could come. Maybe. I lied, knowing damn well he wouldn't. I walked out to the kitchen and there he was, dressed, keys in hand, backpack on. Where are you going? I asked. Silvio's, I told you. But he hadn't. He left without a word, didn't even glance at our daughter. I tried to make the day normal. Breakfast, cartoons. I called my dad, hoping for some miraculous wisdom. He's still in Florida. Just hang in there, he mumbled. Maybe plan a trip, get some air?
Right.
With zero money and a kid who only sleeps if I'm in the room. Then, that afternoon, the bomb dropped. A text from Bernice, Silvio's wife. The one with the heart emoji in Caden's phone. She asked for a pizza recommendation for her son's birthday. Harmless. But something felt off. Is Caden there? I texted back. Her reply sent a shiver down my spine. No, why would he be? I stared at my phone for a solid minute. Is Silvio around? I asked. He's at work, but I'll tell him you said hi. That was it. Caden wasn't at Silvio's. He had lied. Again. I texted him. No answer.
Called.
It rang and rang, then voicemail. I left a message, a desperate plea asking if he was okay. Then I waited. And I did something I'm not proud of. I checked Life 360. We had it for emergencies with our daughter. He was across town. Not moving. At some random address I didn't recognize. An hour passed. Then 2. Finally, a text from him. Don't wait up. Need space. I almost laughed. It was so utterly predictable. But I was done. Done letting it go. What happened next was probably the most awkward thing I've done as an adult. I called Silvio directly. He answered, sounding half asleep. Sorry for the weird question. I started. But is Caden there or with you? No, he said. He told me he was. Silence. Then, we haven't hung out in weeks. What's going on? I heard Bernice in the background. Yeah, never mind, I mumbled.
Sorry.
Didn't mean to bother you. I hung up, my hands actually shaking. I sat there, thinking about all the times he'd made me feel crazy, like I was overreacting. Maybe I was sometimes. But facts are facts. He came home late, after dark. Didn't say a word, just headed for the guest room. I followed him. I wasn't calm. Where were you? I demanded. He tried to brush me off, called me paranoid, said I was making everything about me. I called Silvio. I said, my voice dangerously low. So, if you want to keep lying, you can, but I already know. He exploded. Actually exploded. Stood up so fast his chair toppled. Shoved past me into the hall. You're crossing lines now. Involving other people. Embarrassing me. You embarrassed yourself, I shot back. I just want the truth. He slammed the bathroom door so hard the handle dented the wall. I knocked. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. He opened the door, arms folded. I need help, he spat. You're unstable. Obsessed with controlling me. I'm not letting you take this out on me or our daughter anymore, I said, a new resolve hardening my voice. He laughed. Maybe I should just go stay with my mom, since you clearly don't want me here. You can go, I said, if it means you'll finally be honest. But you're not taking our kid. He took a step forward. I have just as much right. You're not fit to decide. He was too close. Way too close. But I didn't back down. You want space? I challenged.
Take it.
But don't you ever threaten me again. He left. slammed the front door. I went after him, saw him in the hallway. Our neighbor peered out. I pulled the door closed, locked it. I texted him, "If you want to come back, you need to talk to me like an adult." No reply. I called my dad again, desperate. "Maybe you should come here," he said, then immediately added, "but his wife isn't comfortable with all that drama."
Thanks, I said.
So helpful. I texted friends. No one answered. It was late. Everyone was probably tired of my drama. My daughter woke up in the night, crawled into my bed. "Scary dream," she whispered. "Daddy leaving and not coming back." I hugged her tight. "I'm not going anywhere, I promised." I barely slept. This morning, a text from Caden's mom. She's rarely involved. "Is everything okay?" she asked. "Caden called her late last night. She didn't say what he told her." I just replied, "It's complicated. Thanks for checking." The day was awkward. Caden didn't come home. I took my daughter out for ice cream. Texted Caden. No reply. By dinner, another text from him. "You made this worse. Now my family's involved. Hope you're happy." I just stared at it. "You involved them by lying and disappearing," I typed. "Not me." He left me on read. Late that night, a knock on the door. It was Caden's mom and sister, holding a tray of cookies. "Why do people do this?" "Can we come in?" they asked. "Sure," I said, "but I'm not in the mood for a big talk." They sat at the table. Caden's mom started. "Maybe we all just need to let things cool down. You shouldn't make big decisions while grieving." I almost laughed. I'm not the one making decisions. I just want honesty and a partner who actually shows up. Caden finally arrived an hour later. He saw his family, looked at me like I'd betrayed him. "So, this is what we're doing now? Ganging up on me?" "No," I said, my voice steady. "But I'm not letting you gaslight me anymore." He tried to play the victim, saying I was unstable, worried about our daughter. I stood up. "If you're so worried, Caden, you can start by actually being present." He tried to talk over me. I wouldn't let him. His sister tried to mediate. "Maybe he should just take our daughter to his mom's for a while," Caden said. "Give me space to sort myself out." My blood ran cold. "Absolutely not," I said. "You don't get to take her just because you're uncomfortable with your own choices." He pushed past me, tried to pick up our daughter. I snapped. Physically blocked him, hand on his arm. "Put her down," I commanded. "Talk like an adult." He looked at his mom, like I was unreasonable. But she just shook her head, told him to stop. Finally, he dropped her hand and stormed off. His mom sighed, apologized, and they left. The silence was deafening. My daughter was asleep. I sat there with that tray of unwanted cookies, realizing something profound. I had spent months letting him make me feel like the crazy one. But I wasn't. I was done pretending this was normal. I wasn't going to let him opt out of his life and blame me for it. I don't know what happens next, but I'm not backing down. If he wants to leave, he can leave. But he's not rewriting the story, and he's not taking my daughter. Third update. I wasn't even sure I'd post again. But last night and today? So weird. It's like I'm living in a movie script. If I read this somewhere else, I'd be screaming, "Girl, walk away." But it's never that simple when it's your life. After the whole Cookie and Caden storming off incident, I just went into autopilot. Made breakfast for my daughter. She wanted pancakes like Grandma used to make. I microwaved a frozen one. Who has the energy? She barely touched it. I scrolled my phone, half doom scrolling, half hoping for a text from Caden that wasn't blame. Nothing. I heard him in the guest room, but he never came out. He left for a bit, probably to sulk at a coffee shop. I honestly didn't care. Here's where it gets surreal. Caden's mom and sister showed up again. But this time, they brought groceries. A whole bag of apples, a rotisserie chicken, juice boxes, and for some reason a head of cabbage. Caden's sister, Stephanie, was acting extra nice, calling me Han and Sweetie, which she never does. My daughter was happy to see them, but I could feel the tension. They parked themselves at my kitchen table, talking in low voices. "We just want to help," Caden's mom said. Maybe smooth things over. What does that even mean? I asked. Well, she went on. Maybe we should all sit down as a family and talk. And maybe you should take some time for yourself. Let us watch your daughter for a weekend. Give you a break. The way she said break felt loaded. I tried to be polite. I'm not comfortable with that right now. I want my daughter here with me. Stephanie nodded, but I saw her texting under the table, undoubtedly updating Caden on my attitude. Did Caden put you up to this? I asked. His mom looked surprised.
He's just worried, she said.
He told us you've been struggling. I wanted to scream. Yeah, I'm struggling, I snapped. Because my mom died and my husband bails on me every time I need him. They exchanged a look like I was being unreasonable. Just then, Caden walked in. Of course. He saw them and immediately launched into his victim monologue. I'm just trying to help, but you make it impossible. I had it. If you want to help, I told him, right there in front of his family, you can start by telling the truth and actually parenting instead of outsourcing everything to me and now to them. He said he was trying to protect our daughter from my moods, like I was the monster. I started shaking with pure rage. You are not taking her anywhere, I warned him. You're not pulling this unstable mom crap with me. His sister tried to intervene. Maybe we all need to calm down. No, I said. I'm done being calm. If you want to talk, let's talk. But I am not handing over my kid so you can feel better. Caden slammed his hand on the table. My daughter jumped, started crying. I picked her up and walked out of the room. Stephanie followed, murmuring, Don't worry, Daddy's just upset. Don't minimize it, I told her. You have no idea what it's like. I shrugged off her attempt to hug me. A little later, I heard them talking in the other room. They were debating whether to stage an intervention. Actual words. I walked back in. I'm right here, I said, my voice dangerously quiet. You can talk to me. Caden's mom started. We think you need to get some help. Maybe talk to someone. Take time away from your daughter. No thanks, I interrupted. I'd like you to leave now. Caden actually tried to block the door. Called me unreasonable. I just pushed past him. Opened the door. You can come back when you're ready to talk to me like a human being, I told his mom and sister. Not a problem. Stephanie tried to say, We're just worried. If you're worried, I said, worry about your brother, not me. Then I shut the door, locked it. My daughter clung to me for the rest of the afternoon, wouldn't let go of my hand, even when I was making lunch. And honestly, I let her. I thought, if this is the price of finally standing up for myself, then so be it. Caden spent the rest of the day sulking. Wouldn't look at me. At one point he tried, If you keep acting like this, I'll call a lawyer and get custody. I laughed. A genuine, bitter laugh, which instantly enraged him even more. Good luck explaining to a judge, I told him. Why you ran away when things got tough and left your grieving wife alone with a 4-year-old. He just glared and went back to the guest room. I texted my dad. Sorry, can't get involved. Classic. Later, Caden's mom texted to apologize for overstepping, but still thought I needed to take care of myself. I didn't reply. I was so done with their fake concern. Polly from across the hall had asked if everything was okay. Rough week, I'd said. She nodded, like she'd heard it all before. So now, here I am. The what happens next part. Caden came to me late last night after our daughter was asleep, trying to be calm. Look, he said, you're obviously not happy. I'm not happy. Maybe we should just separate for a while. Fine. I agreed, my voice surprisingly steady. But I'm not leaving this apartment. And you're not taking our daughter. That's not fair, he yelled. Neither is any of what you've done, I said. He started screaming. If you wake her up, I warned him, I will call the cops for disturbing the peace. I don't care if the whole building hears. He slammed the door on his way out, but not before saying, You'll regret this. The thing is, I'm scared. But not in a way where I think he'll hurt us. More like, I'm terrified of what's going to happen when I finally stop playing along. Will he actually try to get custody? Will his family keep showing up? Will my daughter always remember this as the year her family fell apart?
I started making a list last night.
I called the building manager about changing the locks. Turns out I need Caden's signature or a court order.
Of course.
I looked up family mediation. Not because I want to go, but for a paper trail. I even called a therapist, left a voicemail. Caden's family was right about one thing. I do need help. Just not the kind they want. Tonight, I let my daughter pick dinner. Chicken nuggets and apples. We watched a movie on the couch. She asked if Daddy was coming home. Maybe later, I said, but for now, it's just us. She seemed okay with it. Caden's still here, technically. He went out after dinner, said he needed fresh air. But I heard him on the phone in the hallway, talking to his mom about next steps.
I didn't eavesdrop.
But I know this isn't over. He came back, didn't say anything to me, went straight to the guest room. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, or next week, or next month. But I know this. I'm not giving up my home. I'm not giving up my daughter. And I'm not letting him, or his family, tell me who I am or what I need. Final update. So, this is it. The final update. I didn't think I'd get here. After Caden's family left that day, he was completely silent. Not just sulking. Full radio silence. No calls. Not even his usual one-word texts about our daughter. I let it go for a day. Then, two. I started to feel weird. Like maybe he was actually going to try something. On the third day, I got a message from Caden. But it wasn't even to me. It was a group chat. His mom, his sister, and me. Since Polly refuses to cooperate, he wrote, I'll be picking up our daughter for the weekend. I've already made arrangements. Just like that. As if I didn't exist. Except as an obstacle. His mom immediately texted, we can help. Stephanie sent a thumbs-up emoji. I was so angry, I couldn't even reply for a while. I am not an event for them to plan around. I texted Caden separately. If you want to see your kid, you set it up with me. Not a group chat. He wrote back, I'm tired of your drama. I'll be there at 9 a.m. Saturday. Saturday, 8:50 a.m. I was already bracing for a fight. He shows up. With his mom and Stephanie. All acting like it's a party. He tries to walk right in past me. I stood in the doorway. My heart was pounding. Slow down, I said, my voice surprisingly firm. You're not just taking her for the whole weekend without a plan. He got all huffy, accusing me of trying to keep his daughter from him. His mom started lecturing about family unity. I stood my ground. You don't get to show up and bulldoze me out of the way. You want to spend time with her? I challenged.
Fine.
But we are agreeing on times and details. You're not just steamrolling over me. Caden started raising his voice. You're making things difficult. You're unstable. Blah, blah, blah. Stephanie tried to step between us. Move, I told her, my voice clipped. I'm not having this argument in front of my kid.
He tried to push past me.
Physically push. And I just stepped right in front of him, my hand on the door frame, not moving. Stop, I commanded. You're not coming in unless you calm down and talk to me like a human. My daughter was right behind me, clutching her stuffed bunny, her eyes wide with fear. His mom started saying I was overreacting, that I should just let things run their course. I lost it a little, not going to lie. This is my house. I declared. You don't get to come in here and take over just because you're uncomfortable with my boundaries. I looked Caden dead in the eye. If you try to push past me again, I'll call the landlord and the neighbors can handle it. He finally stepped back, red-faced, muttering about how unbelievable I was. I'm happy to let you take her to the park for a few hours, I told him, but you're not taking her for the weekend until we have an actual agreement. I literally stood there, blocking the door. His mom tried to guilt me again, but I just shook my head. Finally, Caden relented.
Fine.
We'll go to the park. We'll be back by 3 o'clock. Okay, I said, and handed him a packed bag, snacks, wipes, her water bottle, and the bunny. Because I knew he'd forget. They left. I swear I just sat on the couch, shaking for 10 minutes. I almost cried, but then I started cleaning the kitchen instead. My phone was blowing up with texts from his mom about how hard this is for everyone. I put it on silent. They brought her back right at 3 p.m. She was tired, a little clingy but fine. Caden tried to act all casual, like nothing happened. "Thanks," I said simply. "See you next time." He started to say something, but I shut the door and locked it. I could hear them in the hallway for a bit, but I didn't care. After that, it was weirdly quiet. Caden stopped coming by so much, just texting for short, agreed-upon visits. He tried twice to argue about custody. I just repeated, "Put it in writing, or go talk to someone who actually cares." I started keeping a notebook with all the things he said, just in case. Thanks to everyone who suggested that. Seriously, a lifesaver. His family backed off too. I think they realized I wasn't going to roll over. Stephanie texted me once, asking if we could all reset and just focus on the kid. I told her that's all I ever wanted. She left me on read. Caden still shows up, but only when it's his turn. We don't talk much, just the basics. He tried one more time to guilt me into taking him back. "You had your chance," I said. I meant it. Ending asterisk. So here I am. Signing off for real. If you've made it this far, thank you. You guys made me feel less alone in this fire. I used to think I had to bend until I broke, to keep the peace, to be the good wife, the understanding mother. But sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is stand firm, even when your hands are shaking, even when you're terrified. Because standing up for yourself, for your child, it isn't about being mean or difficult. It's about being true. It's about reclaiming your life. Call to action asterisk. I'm tired, but I'm not broken. And if you've ever been through something like this, where you had to finally put your foot down and say, "No more," please tell me in the comments. What did you do? How did you find that strength? I really, really want to know.